A very good day to you. I'm Howard Feldman, and this isn't a Synthesis podcast. Rather, what this is it's a conversation with Tom Wells. Turns out that Tom is an explorer. He's a pioneer. He is facing an unknown frontier. He is moving to Amsterdam on behalf of Synthesis. Tom Wells, hello. Are you ready?
I'm very nervous, Howard.
Don't be. Right. What does success look like for Synthesis in the Netherlands?
Well, there's probably a short-term, medium-term, and long-term answer. I think the short-term is that we are able to create a good business there. Long-term, hopefully it's a step change for Synthesis.
I think you left out medium-term.
Medium-term is like the transition between success and long-term success.
Nice. You could be a politician, but don't go into it in the Netherlands. What are you most excited about?
Sure, I love change. So I'm excited about an entire new opportunity, an entirely new country, an entirely new model, potentially, a new currency, a new way of doing business. I'm excited to figure out all of that stuff.
What are you most nervous about?
Probably exactly the same thing. I'm nervous about what it is that I don't know. I'm nervous about things working out.
What is the focus of Synthesis in the Netherlands?
The focus, I think, initially is exploratory. So we need to go and explore and learn, maximize our learning in this new area. There's a lot of questions that we have. So the opportunity initially is to answer a lot of those questions.
Are you going to still be involved in South Africa?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So certainly for the initial period, for the first few years, I see I'm still very involved in what we do in South Africa. I think the focus may change slowly towards Europe as things start to happen there.
Are you taking your virtual reality headset with you?
No, I'm leaving it.
Really? And your drone?
So I'm taking 4 of my 8 drones. I've donated the other 4. You can ask Marie.
All right, I'm going to ask Marie. What about your bike?
I'm taking 2 of my 4 bikes.
And your wife? Taking 100% of your wife?
Thus far, yeah. The plan is still to take my wife and both of my children. They both.
Well, that was my next question. Your kids as well.
Yeah.
Right, which is good. And probably quite reassuring for them. Who's your favorite Ajax player?
Ajax. It's
Ajax.
a soccer team. Ajax.
But why would they name it?
I know nothing about soccer. I couldn't tell you anything about soccer. Not a thing. I can tell you that.
Why do they spell it Ajax and pronounce it Ajax?
Ajax. Well, Ajax is a technical term. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I think it's a soccer team. It could be. So maybe is it Ronaldo? I don't know.
Look, this is the sublime talking to the ridiculous.
Yes.
All right. Who are you going to miss most from Melrose Art Synthesis?
Mavis. I will miss Mavis.
I actually thought you were going to say that. What about Synthesis Cape Town?
Well, I know who I won't miss, and that's Keith, obviously.
Yeah, nobody would miss Keith. It's true. It is true. In fact, it probably is a good reason to immigrate. Other tech entrepreneurs are going into space. How does it feel to be going to Amsterdam?
Right. That's a good question. It's probably more scary, actually. Because I think that, I saw Bezos went into space for 20 minutes. That was it. He had a 20-minute
and then
experience.
he came back.
And he came back. Yeah, same for Branson. For me, this could be more longer term.
All right. Can you complete the sentence, if you don't mind? Synthesis in the Netherlands will be a ...
A step change for Synthesis.
Nice. As a mountain biker, I chose to live in the flattest place on the planet because
I love road cycling.
I'm really excited about the weather in the Netherlands because
I'm probably an idiot.
Canals are cool because
I love supboarding and ice skating.
Fair enough. All right, and now let's move on to some questions that we have from members of the team. Stein wants to know, the Netherlands has the biggest pub in Europe and inventing gin. On a scale of 60% to 100%, how much did that influence your decision to go there?
100%, 110%. I like that scale.
Right.
Good. Yeah.
Are you familiar with how a Dutch oven works?
No. I'm not familiar.
I wouldn't have either. Going Dutch, I think we've all heard of, but that's something different, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with oven. Did you decide to move to the Netherlands since everywhere else in Europe is literally set up from there? Or was it due to the fact that it's lower than sea level?
Is this a real question? So yes, I think we chose Amsterdam because it is the fintech hub of Europe, alongside Germany, Berlin, and it used to be London, but Amsterdam now, really the largest investment in fintech in Europe is in Amsterdam.
Right, nothing to do with sea level. Mohammed wants to know, what's your secret to looking like Kevin Bacon?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I have no secret. It's my parents. It must be.
Well, I've already said what are you most excited about, but where do you see Synthesis Netherlands in 5 years?
Like I actually can't see 5 years into the future. I can see many different outcomes potentially, and they're all very different. You know, it could be access to a market which allows us to scale similar work that we do at Synthesis into a new market. We also have the opportunity of attracting European companies and creating a gateway into Africa through Synthesis and Capital Appreciation. So that's almost the reverse, which would mean, you know, that we have a new, a kind of like a funnel to bring back into South Africa, which I think is also very exciting. It's not something we've attempted before, so we're not sure exactly how that's going to look. So it's something like that potentially. You know, those are two very different outcomes.
Matt wants to know, is it true that you coded the Matrix? And if so, did you use Java?
No, I didn't use Java. No, definitely not.
Okay, so that answers
nor Python, nor C#. It would have been a real language.
Terence wants to know, what are the biggest opportunities for Synthesis in Europe?
There are many, I think. And I think a lot of them start with a euro sign in front of them.
Doesn't everything? And he also wants to know, how are you preparing for startup life?
I'm not well prepared. At the moment, I'm unpacking more than I'm packing. I feel like my whole life has turned inside out, which is not a bad place for me. I'm quite happy with that. My wife seems to generate a lot of stress from that. But I quite like the chaos and the sort of inside out nature of this current process.
So here's a question from Dean. He wants to know, can Tom even speak Afrikaans?
I cannot speak Afrikaans, no. I can say one word in
part
Dutch.
Of the question, asking you to prove it really then is kind of redundant.
I can say sandwich in Dutch, boterham, which sounds like butter ham. I don't know. So maybe that's like a sandwich with butter and ham on it. I don't know.
Is that a real thing?
Boterham, yeah, means sandwich. I think that's the only word I'm going to need initially.
Right. Tom Wells, what's your message to Synthesis? To all the people at Synthesis who might consider missing you?
I don't know why they would miss me, because I'm not going anywhere, I suppose. And it's not like I've seen anyone in the last 18 months, other than I think I've seen Michael Shapiro, Marais, Chart maybe once. I don't think I've seen you, Howard, in 18 months. I think I've seen Jake once. So my message is, guys, you know, I'm not going anywhere. Please don't think that. I'd like to remain as looped in as I am, and hopefully start to generate some more excitement from customers in Europe, opportunities in Europe, potentially opportunities flowing back into South Africa via Europe.
And that's where we leave it. I'm Howard Feldman, chatting to Tom Wells.